I've lost Harry on the highway. I just can't not tell you just how right now, back the head. Oh, God, that hurt. You know, it wouldn't be a scrapping day if I didn't get injured somehow or another. But anyway, so apparently I pissed that sheriff off in front of me because I'm driving in the fast lane and I'm running 80 and he was right on my bumper for about, I don't know, 4 miles, 5 miles, and I didn't move over. Then when he kept getting on my bumper, then I just backed it down to 78, then backed it down to 76, then down to 75, and finally he went around me. I don't believe he's from this county, so there wasn't a whole lot he could do. Otherwise, I'm sure he'd have done something, because when he went by me and looked at me, he weren't happy. Now he's turning his lights on. Let's see if he's going to pull me over now. Or is he just going in the middle? Are you looking? Guess not. You know, there's a lot of things I do that probably some people would have issues with. But, you know, as I'm driving here on the interstate, this is one thing that I can tell you with 100% certainty that I've never done, nor will I ever do. But as I'm driving behind them, I see not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5. And not empty, they're empty cigarette packs. And they were, looks like they just gathered them up off their seat, crunched them up, and just volleyed them out the window on the interstate. I know that because 2 or 3 of them ricocheted off my windshield. And then another quarter mile, apparently they've got some sort of ashtray in their vehicle, and then they dump out what looked to be 100 or so cigarette butts and ashes just obliterated down the side of the interstate. And the license plate number is Kentucky Charlie Oscar King 422. Looks to be a 2015-2016 Ford Fusion. The reason I'm putting that out there is because you're a pig that does that. Absolutely a pig. Something that I would never do. I would love to see what this person's house looks like, but more importantly, and don't get me wrong, I smoke. I've got an ashtray full of cigarette butts right there that when I stop and get gas, I dump in the trash can. I'd love to follow this person home, pull up behind them when they get in their driveway, and just dump my shit in their driveway. Let them know what that feels like. You know, I stopped and got gas. You know, this GoPro's killing me. It goes on, goes off, comes on by itself. Makes me think it's out of battery power when it's not. At any rate, when I finished my story, before this Devil Pro went down on me, I stopped and got gas And as I'm sitting there pumping, a state trooper pulls up beside me. A younger state trooper. And he's getting gas too. I mean, we're side by side. And then, you know, he puts his nozzle in and locks it down, and he's standing there, and then he keeps glancing over at my truck. Then he walks over to me and tells me how much he appreciates me doing what I'm doing. He said, because looks like, I mean, you're scrapping, you're picking up metal and stuff. I said, yeah. Mostly metal, but, you know, pick up a lot of wire, material, metals that actually I can make money off of. But he said, man, I think that's great that you're doing that, because that keeps that stuff out of the landfill, and it's providing jobs for people. I mean, you're providing jobs for the place where you take them to, and then, you know, that metal gets processed at the processing plants, and those guys get paid to do that, and then, you know, the metal gets sold and made into renewable stuff again. It's just, I just think that's awesome that you're doing that. And I thanked him. And he said, we just need more of stuff like that. He said, I know gas prices are going up, makes it harder and harder. But then he starts questioning me on, you know, how do you get it and what do you have to do to locate it? And then he made the comment, you know, you could be, he said, I don't know how old you are, but you look like you're either at or getting close to retirement age. He said, you could be just, you know, laying at home on your couch, but you're out doing this. I said, well, I've got a full-time job, then I do this part-time. And then he was just in awe and appreciative of the fact that, you know, scrappers are out there keeping this stuff out of the landfill. But the aspect that I never considered is, we are actually creating jobs, or creating the need for that job to process this stuff. So he left me feeling pretty good about myself. Then he reminded me to make sure I wear my seatbelt as he was pulling away. And I asked him, does that mean you all don't have to wear them? Because I noticed he hadn't strapped up. And he said, I'm pulling over here because I still have to run your license plate and make sure that you're not wanted for anything, but I do appreciate what you're doing. With a smile as he strapped up. So not only was he appreciative of what I do, apparently he's a, you know, friggin' comedian as well. Detective Lopez was the gentleman's name. And then he looked at me and said, I'm not a detective. I said, then why are you running my license plate? You're detecting something. He said, that's funny, sir. Have a nice day. So Trooper Lopez, I appreciate you. You provided a little comedic relief for me this morning. And I do appreciate the fact that what we do is creating other sources of income for people. Because this ain't easy work. It's hard work. Well, I'm heading to the scrapyard. One thing, I spent some time there. That's all clean brass. We'll see what that brings. I got a couple radiators, a couple condensers, piece of stainless. Okay, I'm glad that made the ride. Well, I left my DeWalt Impact on the tailgate on the way. I cannot believe that stayed on the bumper. It's Tuesday, so I'm going to the scrapyard with Sammy Hagar, the Red Rocker. Got the load on here came from my Lexington run. I picked up quite a few things. So I've got that stainless sink, I got some batteries, I have radiators, condensers, brass, and then the scrap. And then Old Red has got a load of scrap that we did Sunday. You saw that, where we pick it up in Sammy Hagar and then take it back and offload to load up Old Red. But more importantly, it's got a garbage can full of wire and the small tub full of the lower grade wire. I think that's all I have in there, so I'm shooting for, well, I'd like to have 300. I've got my eye on a new GoPro that I'd like to get. Get these things paid out. But I'm very interested as far as the wire goes on Old Red, because that's probably the most wire I've had at one time to turn in. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll be back when I'm at the scrapyard. So have yourself a scrappy, scrap-filled kind of day when I get back. And remember what I always say, you're not going to find it if you don't get out there and look for it. I don't know how cost efficient it would be to use a rollback or a flatbed as a scrapping vehicle. It seems like that would not be very cost efficient. Looks like they got some wire. No. Got buckets or something. Let's dump our shit now. Since everybody's dumping their shit, we'll dump my shit. What's up, brother? Y'all doing some rearranging, looks like, buddy. Brass. Boom, boom, boom. I got one more. Good. Picked up a little scrap here and there. No. No, it was nice this weekend.
You can go ahead and throw them batteries up in.
All right, man. That's everything. Now the next truck got like a trash can full of wire.
Okay. I'll be here for it.
I like it when you're here, man. You make it easy.
I'll give it a shot, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tyler. See you, buddy.
Just like,
Staying busy?
no. We got really busy yesterday because our Dayton yard caught fire.
Really?
Yeah, it'll probably be down till earliest Wednesday open.
Okay. That'll send you some business this way then. Did they close the Hamilton location?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I know they're moving it
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
original building,
Oh, okay.
to where
Okay.
it was years ago,
All right.
till they find some property.
By the lawnmower?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Normal spot.
Thank you, bub.
Yep.
Nowhere near the lawnmower, for one thing. Getting ready to hit something. I did. Probably need to pull up a little bit. Just a little. batteries that I took out of those. Well, I took one of them, two of them out of that scooter, and the other ones come out of that Herbie. It was 38 pounds for $5.70. The yellow brass, just those ends that I took off when we picked that scrap up out of that metal container, that paid $5.80. Had 57 pounds of aluminum radiators, paid $17.10. We had 740 pounds of sheet that has dropped. It's 120 a ton now for $44. Knew that was coming. The stainless sink paid $3.50. So yeah, it was coming, just a matter of when will it finally dropped. So that means they're paying closer to $100 a ton for the non-dealers. So yeah, it dropped. Let's see what the wire may have dropped to when I get back. I gotta bring that one in now. That's the wire load, and should be a pretty substantial scrap load too. So that $300 plan just went out the window. In there, are you? Yeah, I think you'll stay there. Well, I am back at the Scrapyard. I don't know if there's anybody here or not, but now that I've seen the prices drop, I'll see why they're slow. It's gonna kind of hurt some business for sure. I mean, sooner or later it kind of evens itself out as far as the prices go. At what point does it become no longer cost efficient to do it? You know? I think they're done already, so I need to suit up. Dong.
Welcome back.
What? Well, it's nice to see you're still here.
Yeah, you know, I haven't quit yet.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh. Well, piece of stainless first. I think that's the lower grade wire, I think.
This here.
I think. Is that good? And then all this.
It's right here.
I've already waited.
You just have to do it. There's that one.
Like that.
Is that everything?
That's it, man.
All right.
Easy peasy.
All right, I'll take that. There you go.
Thank you, boss.
Appreciate it, man.
See you next time,
Yeah,
fellas.
absolutely. Have a good rest of your day.
Hey, you too. Jerry said hey.
Said hi. He's getting ready to cut you your ticket.
Oh, it's even better.
Full service, baby.
But hey, you ain't lying. So are you changing how you come in here now?
So eventually you'll go in these doors over here. Once this is all finished up and they get us actually running, you'll come in these doors. The can machine will be this side. My scales will be over against that wall, and then you'll exit out those back there.
So
They
it's just
paved
straight
that.
through.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah, on the first wave, and then they come back. You guys see
Thanks, Tyler.
it. Thanks, Dennis. Have a good day, man.
See you, Bob. Now, my issue with that now is Bob apparently told her the orange wire was low grade wire. Well, according to Tyler, it's all good wire, which I'm not arguing. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Picking out the aluminum.
Spin it like that way. All right. I'll grab it with the bag in a minute.
right back. That's fucking awesome. That's awesome. That's cool as shit, man. Okay, done that. Now, I'm gonna get the hell out of here before he messes my truck up. Let's do a final weigh and pay, and yeah, I was close on that 300. Not because of why you think. All right, this truck, and this was from Sunday scrapping. Well, I did a little Saturday evening after work and then Sunday. It had 1,120 pounds of unclean sheet at 120 a net ton for $67.20. That stainless steel shelf that we picked up on the side of the road paid $6.50. The wire that supposedly Bob said was low grade wire, according to Tyler, it's not. We had 85 pounds of that at $1.15 a pound, so that's went down about 15 cents a pound too, for $97.75 for a grand total of $171.45. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Give me your honest opinion. You think it's time for a haircut? So what about now? Is that better? Gentlemen are gathered at their coffee shop like they do every morning to meet for coffee and talk about current events, what's going on in their lives. The first gentleman, we'll call him Ted. He says, guys, let me tell you something. I am 67 years old. I get up every morning at 7 o'clock. I go try to urinate, nothing happens. I'll go to the doctor and he gives me a bunch of medicine to take. I take it, still, I get up every morning at 7 o'clock, try to urinate, nothing happens. The next gentleman, we'll call him Larry. He said, well, let me tell you something, boys. I'm 68 years old. I get up every morning at 8 o'clock and try to have a bowel movement. Nothing happens. I went to the doctor. He gave me a bunch of medicine. Still, I get up every morning at 8 o'clock, try to have a bowel movement. Nothing happens. The third guy, we'll call him Dwight. Dwight says, well, if you think that's bad, boys, let me tell you what I do. I'm 69 years old. I have a bowel, or I urinate every morning at 7 o'clock. Then at 8 o'clock every morning, I have a bowel movement. Then at 9 o'clock every morning, I wake up.